John here, Motor T Scale Models. So I want to take a look at what we're going to go, or what we're going to put on the bench next. So I think the next kit that I'm going to work on is going to be the AMT 1970 Chevy Chevelle SS. So it's probably one of my more favorite, for lack of a better word, cars from the 70s. The SS Chevelle, it's just, I mean, it just looks, it doesn't matter whether it's stock or whether it's modified, it just looks outstanding to me. I have not built one of these before. Seems like there are a lot of people build the Chevelles and the Novas and the Camaros and the Corvettes and stuff like that. So just kind of got to the point that I thought, you know what, I want to build one. Let's see what we're going to be able to do with this. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty fun kit. I am thinking on doing it in the Tamiya Mica blue TS50. I don't know if you can see that because of the glare. And then go with the white stripe on the front. So looks like it's going to be a pretty fun kit. You can do it a lot of ways. I like the green, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it in the blue. Now this particular kit right here is a round 2 release. So it's not an older kit. I mean, it's based on an older kit. I'm sure round 2 redone it. So the kit number is AMT 1143. This is a 1/25th scale. It comes with the 454 V8 engine. It's got the rally rims. I'm not sure if I'm going to go with the rally rims or not, but I'm not going to do a big box review. I am going to go with my favorites. This is from westcanalsales.com. They're not a sponsor of me by any means, but I really like their distributors and plug wires. You can get them in a lot of different colors. They're reasonably priced. I usually get a big bundle of them. I'm down to about 3. The only ones I have left is in this color. So I try to do a different color, then kind of offset it from the engine. That way it can be seen better. But this engine is going to be Chevy red, and unfortunately all I got is red distributor wire. So that's what we're going to kind of go with. But anyway, let's take a real quick look. Like I said, we're not going to do a big one, but I'm not real crazy about these rims that come with it. I just don't think they look very good. So obviously I'm definitely not going to use those. Again, I'm not sure about the rally wheels. I might not. I kind of like to do, if I was to buy the car, as soon as I could, I'd put different rims on it. So pretty sure that's what I'm going to do with this, is I'm going to find a different type of rim to go on it. I have to go through my stash and see what I got. So obviously you got your clear and your red lenses. No big deal there. Let's see if I can open this up real quick. Anyway, the body looks really good. This is an AMT kit, but doesn't really appear to have a whole lot of flashing on it or anything. So let's see if I can get a little bit better light on this. There we go. Looks to be in really good shape. A little bit of flashing, but and I just love the lines of this body. It is just so awesome. A little bit more flashing there I'll have to work with, but that's no problem. Sub frame. And then you have hood, seats, mufflers, your engine, stuff like that. Just your typical. Now, the decals, what I'll call them, decals, not decals, but you call them decals, that's fine. But I call them decals. I think I'm going to go with the white. It comes with a couple different license plates. It's got gauges, decals for the air breather and stuff like that. It's not a whole lot of decals, but just enough to kind of get you going. So I don't think the black stripes will go good with the blue paint. I don't know, I may take a look at it and see. So this comes with straight axle for the rear. Get your seats, more engine compartments. Like I said, I'm not going to open this all up. Let's see what else we have. Oh yeah. Okay, so it's got real nice tires. Comes with the raised white letters. And what I'm thinking about doing is I'm thinking about going with these rims right here. I have these left over, and believe it or not, these are left over from the 1955 AMT Chevy Bel Air. So you get 2 of these rims per kit. I don't know why, but you do. And I got a couple of these left over, so I think I'm going to go with these. I think they're going to look really, really good up underneath that body. Like I said, oops, let's get that out of the way. Oh yeah, I think that'll look good, especially with that blue. So I think those are the rims and tires I'm going to go with. And then last but not least, you have your instruction sheets, typical AMT instruction sheets. Not any issues with it. It's good detail, easy to read, gives you your colors. So it's not a hard process to build this. There's only like 11 steps, but anyway, we're going to see what we can do with this and get it going. So today is actually Thanksgiving, and I'm going to spend time with my family, and I'm hoping that you guys, by the time this video comes out, it'll be well after Thanksgiving. But I hope you guys have a very good holiday. With the holidays coming up, be safe and enjoy your time. And let's see what we can do with the 1970 Chevy Chevelle. Alright guys, we'll talk to you later. Alright guys, so I'm going through taking care of getting my engine put together. I'm looking for parts. And this pack right here, this sprue right here was sealed in this package. I had to cut it open, and look at this. Look at that. That is just straight up dirt. Now, how in the hell did dirt get in? Look at that. That looks like that came out of an old box, and they just took it out and threw it in to this one. I mean, it's okay, I can get it cleaned up, but and all the model kits I've put together, and I'm sure it's not as much as what some of you guys out there put together, but I have never run across a kit sealed in a box, and the box was sealed up. It came from the factory. This guy dang dirty. Look at that. It's dirty. Alright guys. So we're gonna work on the motor a little bit, or the engine here a little bit. I'm gonna end up putting some plug wires in, so I need to drill some holes. And this right here is how I end up doing it. This is for the plug wires. So what I end up with is 4 holes. Now I'll go in there and I'll hit those with some paint. That will be for my plug wires. My headers will go just underneath of it. Well, that wasn't good. If you ain't dropping something, you ain't modeling. That's what I have to say. So I have to use a little bit of a magnifying glass here. Don't need much of a hole, just enough to get the plug wire in. I know some of you say, well, that's an awful big hole. That's fine, I'll cover it up with glue. Fill in the extra with glue and then I'll paint it again. It'll all come out looking fine. Not a big deal. So now I've got my 4 holes for my plug wires. And I don't drill a hole on the top up here. I just cut my plug wire, as you can see here, I just cut my plug wire down so it'll fit right on top of there, then I'll run it all on. But that's pretty much that. Alright guys, so in this AMT 1970 Chevelle kit, you have 2 options for the engine. You have the 454 cubic inch LS6 and the 454 cubic inch V8. So did a little bit of research and I decided to go with the LS6, and there's a couple reasons why you know, I wanted to go with this, and basically it's because the LS6 was the highest powered Chevelle. That when they put this LS6 in the Chevelle, that particular model was the highest powered Chevelle manufactured in the model's lifetime, and that ran between 1964 and 1977. You could get that LS6. Another thing I also found out, which I didn't know, was that the LS6, the Chevelle with the LS6 in it, had a higher power or horsepower rating than the Corvette. The only GM production car to have a higher horsepower rating than the Corvette. So that's the motor that I'm going to go with. Now, the one thing that I did was I painted the whole thing orange, or actually Chevy red. I kind of mixed up my own color. So the one thing that I'm going to deviate from is this should be steel colored. I'm not going to go steel colored. I messed up, and I'm not going to try to repaint it. It's going to stay orange. No big deal. It's my car. It's my model. It's my thing. So, but this is the engine that we're going to go with, and as you can see, I went ahead and painted in the holes. They're not exactly perfect painted, but once you get the plug wires and the headers on there, she'll look fine. So we're going to go with the LS6. I think that I like that better. This, you know, this car wants to have the most amount of horsepower that it can, and the LS6 is it. And to be 100% honest with you, I didn't even know that they came with the LS6 till I started doing the research. I thought they were all big block V8s, which, you know, it is what it is. I'm sure that's pretty much, you know, there's a little bit of difference in it, but I didn't realize that they had the 2 engines. But that's the whole thing and the fun about doing the model, is that you learn things. So I'm sure some of you guys have more information. Love to hear some information in the comments. But we're going to continue on. All right, guys. All right, guys. So we're going to work on the motor a little bit, or the engine here a little bit. I'm going to end up putting some plug wires in, so I need to drill some holes. And this right here is how I end up doing it. Alright guys, so I've got some of the body work done. The paint laid down pretty good after a couple of little mishaps, but got that kind of squared away. I got the stripes laid down. However, like I said, this kit apparently had some some older parts stuck back in there, as I showed you before. These parts right here just filthy dirty, and apparently that wasn't the only thing that they reused from a long time ago. The decals. The decals are crap. As you can tell, I don't know if you can see it or not in this, which if you can't, that's fantastic, but this decal right here was so brittle it broke as I was pulling it off. These decals were just super brittle. As you can see back here, they were just coming apart. I had a hard time working with these decals. I'm not sure I got the back ones on there very straight, but I had to be so gentle with these stripe decals because they just were coming horribly apart. I think I like the white better than the black. Strange thing was, on the hood it says cal induction right in this area. Let's see if I can get something. Right in this area right here, it has cal induction on the hood. I went ahead and chromed that all out, put the stripes on, and didn't realize the stripes got covered up the cal induction. So I took my very best time chroming that, and it looked really good, but it got covered up. But I think you can see right here the crack in the stripe. Other than that, I mean, you know, that's neither here nor there. I mean, it's frustrating, but you know what? Frustration is modeling, and that's the way it is. You know, I'm kind of a little disappointed that they reused some really old parts that were dingy and didn't look as good, and then used old decals, you know, and it shows. So, and this kit is around too. Let's see if I can figure out when it was released. I think I said once before. Hold on just a second, guys. Bear with me. Let's see. I got my glasses on. I'm trying to see here. I don't see. I'll take a look again and see if I can figure out when this thing was released. But looks like it's a pretty new box, but not a very new parts inside. So anyway, so this is what I'll have to clean up some of that white that broke off. Anyway, so the body's looking pretty good. I got the engine done, and I think she's looking pretty good. So got to do a little bit of weather and detail on the engine. Got the coil mounted in there. I got the lower part of the chassis kind of done. On the front end up here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but for the actual spindles for the front wheels, I had to use toothpicks, which they worked out, and that's fine. I had to shorten the rear axle to get these wheels to fit up under there, but not looking too bad. Still got to put my shock absorbers on, and got a few more things to do, but just want to kind of bring you up to date on the build, and that's where we're at. Alright guys, we'll catch you later. Hey guys, John here, Motor T-Scale Models. Wanted to show you the end results of my 1970 Chevy Chevelle SS. This kit was really good. I really enjoyed building the kit. It got down to the last parts of it that really became a bit of a problem, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. As you can notice, the hood is not quite fitting on the way that I had hoped it would. That's the best I can get it, but I think that's due to the issues with the grill. So I'm going to take this off and we're going to talk about the grill here real quick. Hold on just a second. I'm going to clear this. Okay. So, part of the instructions on the grill right here. So let's set this to the side. So, on the instructions, it talks about this part right here. It doesn't ever say anything other than it just shows this, and I'm assuming that means to make sure that you maybe scrape out those center holes, and then you put your grill on there. The problem that came up on putting this car together, so you know, I don't do everything exactly by the way the instructions tell me you do it. I don't go step for step. This is one time that I ought to have went step for step, but what you have to do is you have to take the grill, and these lights right here, they have to go inside those holes, but they don't fit inside those holes. So you're supposed to take your cutting tool and maybe try to scrape those out till they fit in there, and it's a very, very tight fit, and I'm going to show you something here real quick. It is a very tight fit getting that to go into those holes. Now, I fought this thing for a while. I ended up having to get out my electric Dremel tool with a sanding disc on it to try to hone those holes out. And I got to the point I was afraid if I honed any further I might completely cut through the existing plastic. So what I had to do is I had to get those worked in there. Then I took a clamp and clamped right here on the back of the grill and the front there. I put some super glue, clamped them down, and got them really good and tight, and they fit in there. They're not 100% the way they're supposed to be, but it was a butt kicker. The other problem was, and I don't know if you can see here, it doesn't quite connect up with the body. Okay, I never could get it to roll around and, you know, connect completely to the body right there. That was a bit of a bummer, and I had the same issue on the back bumper. I could not get that to marry up the way I wanted it to, and I thought, well, maybe this thing needed to go further forward. I couldn't get it to go any further forward without running into problems up front. It may be a bit too far back, the actual chassis, but it is the best that I can do. Now, don't get me wrong, I love this kit. It did really, really well. Now, when I was building the kit, when I started off, what I do is I take all my body and my hood, or any parts that's going to get painted on the outside, I take and I put them in a little bit of warm water with some Dawn dish soap, and I let them set for a few minutes, and I scrub them down with a soft bristle toothbrush. Make sure I get them all good, and you know, if there's any chemicals or whatever there, try to get it off. So I did that, and then I came out and I painted the car. So this is the paint on the car, and it turned out extremely well. Now this is the second time I painted the car, because when I painted it the first time, it turned out just as well. However, up here on the very front, and you can still see a little remnants of it right there maybe, I got some bubbling up in this area, some bubbling in this area, and a couple other areas I got just a little down here. I got just a little bit of bubbling. So I stripped it, took it back in there, put it in warm water, scrubbed it down again. Now, go back a little bit. When I first put the paint on there,
I made sure that I let it set for several days. I really only did one coat on it at that time. And the paint still kind of bubbled up a little bit. So I stripped it, repainted the body, and it turned out extremely, extremely well. I clear coated it. I did the same thing with the hood, but the hood had a whole lot more problems. When I repainted the hood, I had these bubbling on the hood also. I stripped it. When I repainted the hood, it was all nice and flat. It looked really, really nice. I put the decals on it, and as you can see here, the decals were a problem. I talked about that a little bit earlier. It kind of cracked, separated a little bit, but I got a lot, when I put the clear coat, I got a whole lot of this bubbling, or whatever you want to call it. Now, this thing was done exact same way as my car was, but I still had a lot of issues. So, since I'd already put my stripes on it, I didn't have any more white stripes to put on it. I went ahead and tried to sand down as much as I could. I got it pretty nice and flat. Hit it again with some more clear coat, and I got more bubbling. And I was like, well, that's just the way it's going to be. It's going to have bubbling on it. I don't know what to say about that. So anyway, the car, we talked about problems a little bit earlier about how some of the parts in the parts tree were dingy and dirtier than the other parts. So it appears that they used some new tooled sprue trees, and then they just used some old stuff they had left over and threw it in there. I don't understand why, but that's what it looked like they did. This hood, it had pins that went right here that go down inside these slots. When I would put that in there, the hood never would fit down on there good. So I cut the pins off, and if you put the hood on there, she still don't quite set the way it should, and it's not the air breather that's hitting. It's like the hood is not quite, or the hood opening is not quite wide enough for the hood. The hood seems to be just a little bit wider, and I'm not going to trim it down because it doesn't really bother me that much. Love putting the kit together. I love the Chevelle kit. A lot of things on this went really, really well. One of the other issues that I ran into, which I've done before, is the tailpipes are a little bit short, but so be it. And I just broke off a header. Oh well, I'll fix that here in a minute. Anyway, so I enjoyed the kit, other than a few small problems, but you're going to have problems with kits, I understand that. I don't know that, I think if round 2 redid this and released it, I think they should have used all new sprue, but apparently they didn't. And as far as this thing right here, I guess they decided to I don't know, maybe this is something that they were trying to work on and realized they had a problem, so they said it's important for you to hone it out. But it was more of a problem than I could really get working on myself. So other than that, I mean, that's pretty much the last part of it right there, the number 11. But anyway, so got to fix a header. But other than that, my 1970 Chevelle SS come out pretty good. I mean, it's got a few small problems, but so be it. I can live with the small problems. See if I can get this hood on here a little bit better. I recommend you get this kit, put it together, do your thing with it. It is a fun kit to put together. It goes together very well for some parts it doesn't, but you know, it's a classic. As you can see here, the hood is just not, it just don't want to fit down in there the right way. Let me set it off. Anyway, so get the kit, do your thing with the kit, and let's see how she does. Tell me what you think. I like the way it turned out. I like the blue and the white. A few little small problems on the bumpers. I don't think the bumpers are They may not be retooled for the body. I don't know. They don't fit the way I think they should, and it could be model error. I don't put myself beyond that. But tell me what you think. Like if you like what you see, hit that like button, share. Let me know your opinions on this. Some of you guys may have already done this and been able to work out some of these bugs. Let me know what I did wrong or what I could have done better. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for coming and watching. If you are already a member, hey, appreciate you guys checking me out, giving me all the love and support that you do. And we will catch you guys on the next video.